Prologue, Chapter 4, Brazilian Grand Prix. There are 2 rounds left in the 2021 season, and with the AlphaTauri rumours continuing to swell, Malachi Wilson wants to make sure they're looking at the right driver. Finishing ahead of Mick Schumacher once more should solidify his place as the best driver at Haas, and what better place to do it than Interlagos.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit, and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. And that gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into Turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into Turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode number 4 of the F1 2021 F1 The Prodigy story series. We're here once again with Malachi Wilson for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate race of the 2021 season, and this one's shaping up to be a real cracker, as it always is down in Brazil. Taking a look at the strategy here, we're going to try and we tried to switch things up with an alternate strategy, but then I realised afterwards that I accidentally selected the second strategy, which meant it was a one-stop to hard, so kind of messed up there, so wasting my time here. Regardless, I'm really excited for this one. I love driving Brazil's track in itself, and hopefully we'll be able to guide Malachi to a decent result. The objective is simple today, simply just to finish in front of Mick Schumacher once again. We already start ahead of him now, so we get going for 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix for Chapter 4 of the series. And it's lights out and we're underway. Not the best of starts. Schumacher gets the edge of us. We fall down to P90 and there goes Latifi around the outside with the one car is sticking to the inside going to Turn 1. Nice and smooth into that first corner alongside Fernando Alonso's Alpine. We've gone a bit wide there. Alonso managed to find us back through him, but now that's still Russell on the outside. We've got to get away from him and down the direction across we go. He's still right there but tucks back into line as we move up in front of him. So there we are running in P16 going into the left-hander of turn number 3. And coming out Turn 3 and through Turn 4 now, running just behind Alonso. And we're looking to try and chase him, Raikkonen down through the rest of this opening lap here. Continue to push on. Schumacher's now up in 17th, he's half a second behind, so we dive to the inside of Alonso and try to pass Raikkonen in the process. We're on the grass a bit there, we're still nonetheless right there on the Finnish driver in his penultimate Formula 1 race. We try and go around the outside with that, then comes the inside, going to the right hand, and dive to the inside of Stroll as well. So there we are now up into P13, and for the 3rd race in a row here, we're experiencing serious deja vu as we now find ourselves right behind Esteban Ocon in the Alpine, and just in front of him is Max Verstappen, who took a grip penalty for a component change in the engine. Not quite sure what that's for, but that could be dangerous for him because it means that Lewis Hamilton, who set the fastest lap of the race and led the opening lap, could win the World Championship today, as he has enough of a gap. He could finish the deal over Verstappen with a race to go. Regardless, moving on to lap 2, Stroll looking to the outside but unable to do anything. Going to shut the door on him and continue on through the CRSs, and moving on now towards the end of lap number 3. DRS has been enabled and Stroll has the opportunity to try and go for a move as Valtteri Bottas sets the fastest lap up in front of us. Stroll has the DRS, it's close enough as it is, he pulls out to the left hand side. There he goes up into P13, we're going to pull to the inside, go for a switchback, try and get it back into Turn 1, and there we go. We've got a warning for a collision with him, which I didn't really feel as I was driving, but regardless, he managed to find a way back past him, and that's P13 secure once more. It's down the road to possibly come again. Stroll with the DRS will be able to get close enough this time. He's definitely getting close. Here he comes. He's on the left. I'm going to try and force him out, but he's got the run on the inside, so he's going to take P13, but only briefly. We're going to force him to the inside there on the curve bit, and that's put us back up into 13th place. And right now we are still passing our objective of beating Mick Schumacher, our teammate. We need to make sure that AlphaTauri are looking at the right driver, making sure they make the right choice. It's got a bit wide there, coming up Alpha Junso, and there goes Stroll back up into P13. We're going to have the DRS on him this time, though. He's got past us just before the detection zone. Poor move from him there. And Raikkonen's all over us as well. He pulls out to the right-hand side. We're going to try and go to the left of Stroll, going into turn 1, who's up on the outside. We're going to dive way in deep and take the position away from him, going into the center S, and that's us up into P13 once more. Raikkonen's managed to make his way through using his years of experience. He's now up into P14, managed to pick up the scraps. Moving further on now, towards the end of lap 5, Raikkonen's now right behind us. He's now our next combatant. He's the next one to take us on. He opens up the DRS for him as he comes back down the main street. He looks to the right-hand side once more, and that's the Alfa Romeo back past us, but only briefly. We'll try and make a move to the inside, and we're there underneath. We've touched his wheel, and that's all the momentum he needs. We've lost all our momentum, and that puts him back. That puts him to P13. We've got the DRS on him, but Stroll has DRS on us, so it's going to be very careful. And here comes Alonso as well. He wants to get in some of this action. We're going to go 3 abreast into the left-hander. We're going to be very aggressive there and force both of them out. Alonso into P15. Stroll's misery continues. He's lost 3 places in his opening 6 laps. Alonso has a serious run on us, but chooses to fall back into line. We continue to try and chase Raikkonen down. So moving further on now to the end of lap number 6, Raikkonen's pulled away. He's just out of still in DRS range, but he's pulled away enough for it not to make any difference. Meanwhile, Alonso's putting out on the right hand side, going into turn 1. We've closed on Kimi a bit to try and get close to him. We've overshot turn 1 just slightly. We're going to have the DRS once again, but it's not going to make much difference because Raikkonen's already pulled away. Alonso, he's going to be our main focus. We're going to try and defend from him. He's on the left hand side. We're going to give him the space, and we're going to try and force him off. Well, not force him off, but there's a bit of contact there. Weirdly, we didn't get a warning for this, but we did get a warning for the contact with Stroll on the start of lap 2, which is just confusing me. Regardless, moving on now to start of lap 9, Alonso's pitted. It's now Stroll who's taking us on once more. He's going all the way to the inside of the track. He managed to find his way through. We're going to try and switch back on him, but we didn't have enough room. We tried briefly trying to go to the outside. Malcolm unable to get anything in there. But look at Schumacher there. He's right behind us now. It's crucial we managed to keep him behind us in order to pass the chapter and move on to the next one. Regardless, Stroll continues to push. Schumacher's on our inside here. We're going to shut the door on him. We're trying to pass Stroll. We're getting way audacious there. Very late on the brakes. Slightly on the grass there. Regardless, we managed to find a way past him. And we are now up into P14 once more. Clear of Stroll there. And that's job done in that regard. But you can bet he'll be coming back at us. We've gone a bit wide there on the exit of the left-hander. Moving further on now towards the start of Sector 3. And this is where he always gets the run. This is where everyone who's challenged us has got the big run to start an attack. Going towards the end of this lap and on to the next one. Moving towards we're now at the halfway stage of this race. We're running in P14 and crucially still ahead of Mick Schumacher. And Stroll opens up his DRS and tries to make a move to the outside. There he goes. We're waiting inside of the track, being very careful.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on mediums.
They're on the inside, going into turn 1. There's a bit of contact once again, and that is P14 secure once again. Moving further on now to the end of lap 12. This is where we're going to choose to pit, which is going to have a change in pit strategy to come in a bit later and go onto a set of medium tyres as opposed to coming in earlier onto a set of hards. So in we are now in the pits. It's crucial here that we manage to have a good stop because everyone else is coming up in this pack that we've been running throughout the entire race. Raikkonen's currently in the pits as well. He's pitting for a set of hard tyres. He comes out just as we come in, and the Haas team begins to change the tyres. No front wing changes once there, so there's definitely a first in that regard. So coming up out of our pit box now and coming back out onto the racetrack. Alonso, Russell, and the rest of the pack have caught us now. It's going to be a race out of the pits, but they're going to win it. There goes Alonso, Russell, Latifi, Schumacher, Giovinazzi. They're all finding their way past us here. Well, Latifi hasn't found his way past Nate yet, but he has now. There he goes on the outside. We cross over the white line and back onto the racing surface. We try and dive to the inside of Latifi, trying to get to work right away. And right now, so thanks to those pit stops, we're currently failing our objective of beating Mick Schumacher in this race. We're going to try and find our way back past Nicholas Latifi before we can even think about having a go against our Haas teammate. We'll try and get to the inside of Latifi, go for the dive, as we often do in these races. There we go to the inside, and that is P18 secure. We're now right behind Schumacher, but he's continuing to pull away here. We've got a couple more laps to run him down. It takes me a few laps to actually catch all the way up to him. Moving on to now towards the end of lap 16, we dive to the inside with a bit of contact. We've lost all that time between us and Giovinazzi, but regardless, that P17 secure, and that's what we need to complete the objective. But one last bit of a surprise to me was that I checked the fuel, and we're actually running low on fuel because we lowered the fuel a little bit going into this one, and now we're just 2 laps to go. We're going to try and hold the fuel all the way to the end of this one. So Schumacher's still chasing us, and there it goes now into the pits. So he may have picked up damage there. Regardless, 2 laps to go. We're, like I say, look at that, we're low on fuel, minus 0.14 laps. It may not be enough for us to make it to the end. We move on now towards the end of the last lap. It's now 0.15 minus. So Hamilton's won the race. He's secured the World Championship, his 8th world title, as we come out the last corner up the hill for the final time. And there it goes. We've hit low fuel mode. Giovinazzi and Russell pull away. P17 is the best we can ask for, but here comes Latifi. He's going to have DRS on us as we speed towards the line. We're trying to move to the inside and block him. He's got room on the inside. It's going to be close. There's contact, and Latifi just gets us at the finish line. Wow, that was an exciting end to the race. Regardless, that is P17, sorry, that's P18, and that's enough for us to move on to the next chapter, beating Mick Schumacher. Lewis Hamilton wins the race, and that's his 8th World Championship secure. And that also means that Mercedes has clinched the Constructors' title with a round to spare. So Hamilton has beaten Verstappen. Whether that would foreshadow real life, we have no idea. Regardless, though, Hamilton wins the race from Valtteri Bottas, Carlos Sainz on the podium, and it's Perez in 4th, Leclerc 5th, Norris in 6th, Gasly 7th, Ricciardo 8th. So there we go, the Drivers' Championship confirming that Hamilton did indeed win the championship here in Brazil, and Mercedes taking the Constructors' Championship. Currently the gap stands at 111 points between them and Red Bull, but Hamilton winning his 8th world title and making history in the place where he won his first world championship all those years ago. We come home in P18, and we've beaten Mick Schumacher, which is enough for us to move on to the next chapter, the last chapter of the 2021 season in Abu Dhabi, and that's where all these AlphaTauri rumours may come to a head. Regardless, I hope we've turned their heads as to who they might sign today. Regardless, this will be the end of the episode, guys. If you did enjoy this one, make sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and with that, I will see you in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching, and with that, I'll see you later. Despite losing out to Nicholas Latifi at the finish line, Malachi managed to come home ahead of teammate Mick Schumacher once again, remaining unbeaten against his teammate as the circus heads to Yas Marina for the final race of the 2021 season.